What's good, everybody? It's the Clown with Cap Show. We got the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. The season is right around the corner. I cannot wait. Head coach Marcus Freeman in his second year there. I have really high expectations for Notre Dame, just like year in and year out. Every year I tell you guys it's Notre Dame's year. I mean, obviously it hasn't been Notre Dame's year since 1988. It's been so long, but I really have hope this year. Why? Because of the quarterback that they just brought in from Wake Forest, Sam Hartman. This guy's a legit player. He's a 6-year guy. He understands the formula, and I just feel like with the head coach, with Marcus Freeman, the way he runs the program, I think this is going to mesh. I think Notre Dame has a legitimate shot of making the college football playoffs this year. Absolutely, and they have one of the toughest schedules year in and year out, especially this year. They play Ohio State, Clemson, and USC. I mean, Ohio State and Clemson alone automatically in the top 10 is ridiculous. I mean, to be independent, although I do think Notre Dame should eventually go to the ACC or Big Ten just to stay independent for so long. I think eventually Notre Dame should branch out, even the ACC somewhere, no matter where it is, because they don't have a conference championship at the end of the year, which could harm them if they have a one loss on their schedule this year. But Ohio State's coming into Notre Dame this year, and I just think for Marcus Freeman, what they have here, they have so many great players coming back, but I'm just really excited about the quarterback, Sam Hartman. I mean, this guy put up crazy numbers at Wake Forest, about 13,000 yards passing, okay, 110 touchdowns and 41 interceptions there while his time at Wake Forest. So there's some developed there where it's just like he's coming into this program, he's going to fire down, he's going to throw big, long, deep shots down the field. And that's what Notre Dame needs, because for a while, Notre Dame really hasn't had really great quarterbacks. Off my top of my head is like Brady Quinn. That was back in like 2006 time, dude. That was so long ago. Yeah, we had some decent quarterbacks come through the program, but overall, it wasn't just like, oh, they're going to win it all this year with this quarterback that they have. Guys like Tommy Reese, dude, they were just kind of average quarterbacks. I think Sam Hartman is a guy to take us to the next level, to take us to that pro type of offense where we're going to throw the ball down the field, okay? We're going to spread you out. We have athletes all around the table. We have our starting running back who was a sophomore last year, Aubrey Estema. And this guy, dude, Aubrey, he's a beast, dude. Last year, as a sophomore, he had 11 touchdowns, 11 rushing touchdowns. Audrey Estema. I like this guy. I think what we have going. We're going to do the run game, but also spread him out in the pass game. So I think Marcus Freeman, he knows what he's doing, and I love it. I absolutely love it. And I'm really serious about Notre Dame this year, where it's like they can really legit run the table. Yes, Ohio State at home. That's a huge game. They should win that game, right? They're playing at home. There's no excuses for Notre Dame. They played them last year at Ohio State. Really played them great, even though they lost, I think, by like 10 points or something. It was really a close game all the way to the end. So I just think for Notre Dame, they play Clemson yet again. It's going to be awesome. I cannot wait. Players to look out for Notre Dame: linebacker Jalen Sneed. This guy's a legit. He's going to be a beast. And then we have DJ Bentrand. He's another defensive player for Notre Dame, another key player to look out for. For Notre Dame, it's like sometimes, the recruits aren't 5 stars all the time, even though they are getting a 5-star linebacker who's supposed to come in next year as a true freshman. That's going to be crazy, but I just think this year right now, it's all on Sam Hartman here. It's just like, hey, all the pressure, I don't want to say all the pressure, but we're putting all the eggs in saying, hey, Sam, like, take us, dude. Take us to the playoffs. We don't care if it's a 4th seed or a 3rd seed. With head coach Marcus Freeman, he's a leader, and I think he's going to really lead Notre Dame Fighting Irish to that promised land, right? Notre Dame wants to win a national championship. That's the goal, year in and year out. And I remember the 2012 season with Manti Te'o, that magical season they had. Then they play Bama in the championship and really get embarrassed. It was sad, but that whole season, the 2012 Notre Dame season, was just crazy, full of ups and downs. They came back against Pittsburgh, I think, in triple overtime, which was crazy. They won in overtime against Stanford that year. Just so much to go with. So I'm kind of, in a way, I don't want to compare seasons because they're so different. Different coaches. Brian Kelly, he did great here at Notre Dame, but I really think Coach Freeman can take us to that next level. He's going to get better recruits coming into Notre Dame. This quarterback, Sam Hartman, I'm telling you right now, he has the experience. He has the ability to say, hey, we're going to go undefeated this year. We're going to be a playoff team. We're going to be a number 2 or 3 seed in the college football playoff this year. That's what's going to happen. And I think that's what Notre Dame believes in. They really do. And look at it. Obviously, they do have some, easy games here and there. So does Alabama. We talk about the SEC so much, even though they are the strongest conference in college football, absolutely. But some of them play cupcake teams as well. Bama plays what, like Liberty, dude? Like, come on. There's some cupcake games as well for even big schools. But Notre Dame, I'm telling you, this has to be it, man. Head coach Marcus Freeman, even if they do lose 2 games, I'm not going to be mad. I do want to see them run the table, even with the 1 loss here. If they lose to Clemson or Ohio State or even USC and they run it out in just 1 loss, I still think they can sneak into that 4 seed. They absolutely can. But if we look at Notre Dame right now and say, hey, they go undefeated the whole regular season, absolutely 100% they will make the college football playoffs. No doubt about it. I'm so excited about it, dude. I cannot wait. I mean, we look at the top 25, top 10 especially in college football right now, and really it's irrelevant. It does not matter. It really doesn't. People always tune in and say, oh, who's in the top 25? Who's in the top 10? It doesn't matter, dude. Like, what matters at the end of the year in college football? The rankings right now mean nothing, dude. I understand Georgia, obviously number 1 right now, which they should be. Shout out to the head coach, Kirby Smart. They're looking to three-peat here. They won back-to-back national championships. They're looking to three-peat. And guess who was the last team to three-peat in college football? No, it wasn't Ohio State. It wasn't really a big name. It was a Big Ten team. It was Minnesota. Yes, Minnesota three-peated in 1934, 1935, and 1936. That's pretty crazy, right? Georgia can make history right now in three-peat, which I understand they have great recruits, but they just lost their quarterback, Stetson Bennett, who's playing in L.A. right now, really doing great. So, for Georgia, they did lose a lot of players to go to the NFL. In the draft, it's crazy. But for Georgia, they are the top dogs here. And if they run the table again, they'll be the number 1 seed in the college football playoff. They are the team to beat here. Georgia Bulldogs, man, I'm telling you, they will run through everybody unless, something happens and they don't have like a star-studded quarterback to lead them the way. But Kirby Smart, he's on it, dude. He's on his P's and Q's, and they're looking at three-peat. Shout out to Georgia. And then number 2, we got Michigan Wolverines, dude. 2nd straight Big Ten title. Look, Harbaugh, what a time, and he's looking at a suspension here. I'm not exactly sure what that noise is or what happened. I don't know. All I know is Michigan, they will not make the college football playoff this year. You guys lost to TCU last year. Really, it was one of the things where it's like, you guys should have beat TCU. Kind of got embarrassed. I don't think Michigan's going to really run it all the way this year. I just don't. And then Ohio State at number 3. In Ohio State, they have Marvin Harrison Jr., probably one of the best players in college football right now, if not the most talented, dude. This guy will be a first-rounder. He will be a top 5 NFL draft pick, dude. Marvin Harrison's son, yes, dude. He's going to be crazy. And Notre Dame plays Ohio State, and that'll be the best player Notre Dame plays against is Marvin Harrison Jr. This guy, he's a first-round draft pick. He's a top 5. He might even go number 1. Top 3 alone. So Notre Dame, they will be playing against the best player in college football, and Marvin Harrison Jr. I cannot wait for that. And then we got number 4, Alabama. Shout out to Coach Nick Saban, one of the most winningest coaches of all time. We look at just college. I'm just saying it in all the sports. Everybody understands Nick Saban is about his business. He's about winning. That's what Nick Saban does. He doesn't care what people look like, or he doesn't care about the outside noise, none of that crap. All Nick Saban cares about is winning and winning national championships, and that's what he does great. And I wouldn't be surprised if Bama does make the college football playoffs this year and run deep yet again. And players to look out for Alabama, they got a true freshman safety. His name is Caleb Downs. Got to see some tape on him. Caleb Downs, he's a legit safety, dude. This guy is a ball hawk. He's a great safety. He loves to hit, and he's great in coverage. That's what separates him the most. So I think Caleb Downs, he's a true freshman, and he will probably start for Alabama, which is crazy. He's the number 1 safety in the draft class in high school. So I think, with Coach Nick Saban, he understands this. He understands defense wins championships. And we look at Alabama, and a lot of times they won was because of their defense. So it's crazy. But Caleb Downs, I'm telling you, their safety, he's going to be something to watch out for. So Alabama is going to be on the map. In my prediction, Alabama will at least make the college football playoff this year, even though they missed last year. That's fine. It's a new year, new team, new players. Let's go, head coach Nick Saban. And then we got number 5, LSU. Head coach Brian Kelly, he was the old Notre Dame head coach, and at the end of the day, Brian Kelly said, you know what, I'm going to make more money out of LSU. That's why I'm going to leave Notre Dame, and that's why he left Notre Dame. He left Notre Dame because of more money. It wasn't anything else. It wasn't, I could get better recruits at LSU than Notre Dame. No, he left because they were paying him more. That's what Brian Kelly does. And to me, Brian Kelly's a sellout. That's how I think it is. Yes, he took Notre Dame to the next level. He's a great coach. I'll give you his flowers on that. He beat Alabama last year with LSU, but at the end of the day, Brian Kelly's a sellout. That's what I think of it. But hey, it is what it is. LSU will not make the college football playoff this year. That's my prediction. Number 6, we got USC. Notre Dame is matched up against USC every single year. So Notre Dame has a top 10 hardest schedule year in and year out. To say they don't would be silly, dude. Ohio State, Clemson, dude, right, let alone they easily a top 5 team. Insane. And then USC. Even though Clemson this year is at number 9 with head coach Dabo Swinney, he's looking to get back in the college football playoffs, looking to get back in the swing of things. I just think for head coach Dabo Swinney, he needs a legit quarterback, right? He misses Trevor Lawrence. He misses Deshaun Watson. He misses those playmakers. The playmakers to throw the ball down the field, to make big plays. NFL quarterbacks. That's why head coach Dabo Swinney misses. So shout out to Dabo Swinney. I expect Clemson to run deep again this year and possibly make it to the college football playoffs. If not, make it to the national championship. I mean, Clemson's legit year in and year out. Even though the past couple years they've been off because they haven't had a legit quarterback. It really boils down to quarterback play a lot of times. Because in football, the quarterback position is the most important position. That and the offensive line. Okay, so everything else besides that is not as important as the quarterback and the offensive line. So that's what you need both. And then Penn State's at number 7, Florida State's at 8, Clemson, like I said, at 9, and then Washington at 10. But, these rankings preseason do not mean anything, dude. 1 or 2 losses, they're done. There's no 2-loss team that's going to make the college football playoff ever, dude. So, any of these teams in the top 10 that I just listed, if they have 2 losses, they're done. They're out of it. They're out. Even Alabama, Alabama cannot afford to lose 2 games. Now, Alabama, they can afford to lose a game on the road against an SEC rival like Auburn or something like that. But other than that, they're not going to make it. They lost 2 games last year, which I was vouching for. Alabama should have got in instead of TCU. We saw TCU get blown out by Georgia. It was embarrassing. So I just think overall the SEC, obviously the toughest conference in college football, dude. Absolutely, dude. These are the best athletes. They're the best cornerbacks, the best running backs. Not all the time, right? I mean, there's still some great running backs and great players in different conferences, but I'm saying pound for pound overall, the SEC's on top of the game. I mean, if you're a high school kid and a great football player, if you're going to SEC school, you got to be like a number 1 guy here to play. I mean, do you want to go to a big-time school and not play that much? You know what I'm saying? Or go to a small school and be a 4-year starter and get looked at. So I just think overall the SEC, they're on top of the game. I cannot wait. But I cannot wait for Notre Dame. Ba 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 ba. Let's go, Notre Dame. They're about to take off this year. I'm telling you, I have high hopes for them. Just the simple fact that what I saw last year from head coach Marcus Freeman, and this year, like I said, with the quarterback Sam Hartman, this guy's legit. He's a legit player, and he will be a Heisman finalist. That's my prediction here. I think he's going to have an excellent season. Now, watch him stink it up. Watch him play terrible. I don't think that's going to happen. I think he's going to throw dimes here. They're going to win and just continue to win. And obviously, Notre Dame and head coach Marcus Freeman, this offseason, they're circling their schedule and saying, hey, we have Ohio State coming into our house this year, okay? I think they're playing at Clemson this year in USC. So there's some games here where it's like, dude, this is going to be the main game on television, dude. The ABC game college game day is going to be there at Ohio State at Notre Dame. This is crazy. So for Notre Dame, and I understand, for the past, a couple decades, everybody's been hearing it. Oh, it's Notre Dame's year this year. It's going to be it. But in reality, they haven't won since 1988. So it's been so long, dude. It's been so long. I just want to know, when is it going to be finally time? And I do think, is Sam Hartman going to be the savior? I do think Sam Hartman is a legit quarterback. I think he's just as good as what Brady Quinn was at Notre Dame back in the day. And Brady Quinn did play in the NFL, but really didn't pan out like that. But I just think Sam Hartman has the tools to take Notre Dame to the next level, especially offensively. I just think in the past 5 years, even with head coach Brian Kelly here, Brian Kelly, it was kind of became a one-dimensional offense. We're going to run it a lot, and if we can't run it, we're just going to throw a lot of screens here and there. I just think what Marcus Freeman's going to spread them out here. That's what Notre Dame needs to do with Sam Hartman. We're gonna take you out in the flats. If a linebacker's on a running back, that's a mismatch. That's what we're gonna do with Audric. We're gonna do all types of different things. Throw different coverages at the defenses. So I really do think that Notre Dame's going to mix it up here this year, and they're going to make some noise here. They're going to win some big games. They're going to beat Ohio State when Ohio State comes into the Notre Dame. I can't wait, dude. That's going to be a heck of a game. And then Clemson, it goes on and on, right? But if Notre Dame runs out and wins it every single game this year, absolutely they're in. I cannot wait. What's my final prediction for Notre Dame this year? It's tough. It really is. We can't really specify until they actually play the game, see how they look, see how the defense looks, see how the cornerbacks and safeties are playing in coverage, stuff like that. How the offensive line looks. How long does Sam Hartman have in the pocket? These type of things. Is Sam Hartman a good decision maker on the run? What's the play action going to look like for Notre Dame? So many question marks, right? But overall, expect the offense for Notre Dame to put up some big numbers here. We're going to throw the ball down the field, and we're going to dice the defense up, and that's what we're going to do. So I cannot wait for Notre Dame, but overall, I think Notre Dame will probably lose 1 or 2 games this year. I hate to say it, to be realistic here and say they're going to go undefeated. It's a long shot for sure, just at their schedule right now, how tough it is. But I think overall they'll probably lose 1 or 2 games this year, and they'll probably get a nice bowl game. But obviously, I want them, even with 1 loss, if they make the college football playoff, obviously I'm going to be happy about that. But I just think right now, this year, it's going to be a long shot. I think it's going to take a couple more years for head coach Marcus Freeman get some more 5-star recruits coming in, even though some of them will be listed as a 3 or 4. But that's fine. We look at guys, for example, like Sauce Gardner, the quarterback for the New York Jets. He was a 3-star recruit coming out of high school. Went to Cincinnati. He was the number 1 cornerback eventually, and then he got selected in the first round. Now look at the New York Jets right now with Aaron Rodgers, dude. They got Dalvin Cook. So there's so many weapons with Sauce Gardner. So that was just an example where you don't always have to get 5-star recruits and say, oh, we're not going to win a championship because all we got was 3-star recruits. That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. Just like the preseason rankings in college football, it doesn't matter. But my final prediction, Notre Dame's going to probably lose 2 games and make a great bowl game. And then the next couple years, Marcus Freeman will probably bring the championship back to Notre Dame since 1988. I cannot wait. It's the Clown with Cab show. Let's go!